What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Locks DFS MLB breakdown video for this July 3rd, Thursday, 14-game MLB slate. I'm your host, Christian Hardy from LocksDFS.com. I am at ByHardy on Twitter. We are at LocksDFS on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to be breaking down this little slate. Lots of options to go through, mostly on the hitting side. With all that said, be sure to comment for a chance to win a free season pass. You'll have a chance if you're a subscriber who comments. We'll go through the comments every single week, going through to pick a winner on Monday to see who wins a free season pass from us. It can be for football, it can be for basketball, baseball, etc. Whatever sport you want it to be for, we can get you in there. So just comment with. It can be your home run call of the day that I don't make. It could be your top stack of the day that I don't mention. It could be a pitcher that I don't mention. Or it could be just someone I do mention that you know you're going to be plugging in and saying you appreciate the advice. Whatever it might be, leave that comment. It helps out a lot, and it will enter you to win that free season pass. So with all that said, also be sure to check out our website, locksdfs.com. You can get this one sport pass over here, $39.95 a month. You'll be getting our lock sheets, which break down every single slate, going through our rankings, whether they're value, cash plays, GPP plays, as well as our first look. I do a first look on every main slate, going through the stats on that slate. I'll be doing that right after I get this video up, going through some of the stats, bullpens, weather, umpires, that sort of thing, going through all that, giving a little bit more edge on a slate that I can get into in the video. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown. So, going to be starting off with the top pitcher on the slate. Going to be Chris Sale at 11.8K on DraftKings, and he is going to be 11.2K on FanDuel. Going to be the top pitcher on both sides. I think that's going to be pretty clear cut. Should be the chalkiest pitcher as well. Dude has been absolutely dominant as he is on pretty much every time he steps on the mound. He's quite dominant. Of course, last time he came up against the Toronto team was about a week ago, a little over a week ago. He did have a little bit of struggles, giving up 3 earned runs, striking out 8. He got actually in the hole real early in that start, first 3 innings or so. Just really could not find. Was just not looking like Chris Sale. He has those starts every once in a while. He doesn't look as dominant as he might be. That was that in that start, but I'm not really reading too much into that. I don't think that this Toronto team has a read on him or anything like that. He's still a guy who's under 300 WOBA both hands. Around 3x FIP to both hands. He's got a 36% K percentage to righties with that nasty slider. He's got a 28% K rate to lefties. I mean, this is a guy who is not going to be giving up a whole lot on a regular basis. I think the 3 earned runs were very, very, very much an anomaly. Of course, you've seen these last 3 starts, even up 2, 3, 5 earned runs. I mean, if you think that's a trend, then believe it. But it's probably just him being on the side of bad luck. Certainly in that start against the White Sox, that was a very, very unlucky start for pretty much all the hits in that one. Just got a little bit unlucky in that game. That's what happens sometimes in baseball, So Sale's going to be the top pitching option on the slate. Let's pull up real quick these Blue Jays numbers versus lefties. 24% K percentage, 88 WRC plus. So not a team that we're fearing by any means. Sale makes sense as a top pitching option. He should be the highest owned, as I said. So let's go ahead and move on from there, where I'm going to actually be looking at Cal Quantrill as my SP2, which might sound a little bit crazy, but just going through this slate, there's not a lot of other pitching options here. So, that's why I'm going to be looking to Cal. I think a lot of teams are shaking up their rotation before this All-Star break, going through and deciding, giving a few minor league arms a chance, resting their major league arms for a little bit extra, giving them a start off. So, obviously, we've got Coors on the slate. It's going to knock out those pitchers. A lot of the, we've got like the Tigers, White Sox, both pitching guys who are pretty much minor league arms. Detweiler has pitched a little bit in the majors, but there's just not a lot on this slate, especially price dependent on DraftKings. That makes a lot of sense. So the one issue I do have with Quantrill is that we're going to be looking at this lineup that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lefties right now, and that's definitely Cal Quantrill's weakness. If we go pull up his stats this year, obviously he is a rookie. 5.56 xFIP to lefties is definitely his weakness. 1.7 home run per 9, and you see the Ks drop from 27% to righties to 15% to lefties. Hard contact 42%, 33% fly balls to lefties. So it's definitely a little bit of a struggle for him versus these lefties. So hopefully we get a lineup where we're seeing a few less, maybe 5 righties in here, maybe 6 righties. We had 7 righties last night. We're just gonna have to see how this shakes out. But I do think for sure we're gonna be seeing at least 1, 2, 3 lefties for sure in here. 4 lefties with Crawford. So, these lefties are going to be in here still with the park. I really do like Quantrill. He makes a lot of sense to me. Giants, even versus righties this year, we see those lefties in the lineup. We pull them up. I believe they're around an 82 WRC plus on the season. Giants 82 WRC plus, 22.6% K rate. So the K rate does drop off versus righties, but still the WRC plus is very, very low. So Quantrill is going to be the guy I am looking at. And the other benefit with Quantrill is that you're going to be getting other bats into your lineup. You're going to have a 6.8 team total from the Rockies, 7.9 from the Astros, 6.1 from the Angels. You're going to have some White Sox that are a little bit interesting at 5.9 runs. You're going to have some Red Sox that I'm going to talk about in a second. There are just so many spots on this slate where you're going to really want to spend down at this SB2 spot. And then going down and looking here, this other SB2 options, there's just not a lot. You have Alexander. I mean, if you want to take a risk on Chacin, he's coming in with a 5.4 team total against. That's not really a spot I want to be looking at. Not a guy who's going to get you a lot of strikeouts either. There's just not spots here that make a lot of sense for you to save money on. The other spot that I'll mention is Austin Pruitt. I mean, we saw him go 80 pitches against Boston once. This is a minor league arm, not a guy who has really developed into a major league arm yet, and also has not fared very well in the majors so far. xFIP is pretty high, so Quantrill is definitely more dependable in terms of pitch count, in terms of production, in terms of possible K upside. I know he's facing a lot of lefties, but still has a little bit more K upside than Pruitt. So, going to be preferring Quantrill, but if you want to save a little extra 1,000, maybe in GPPs, really be able to stack up with a Chris Sale Pruitt team, makes a little bit of sense. So, I also want to mention Kyle Gibson on FanDuel. He is facing a righty heavy A's team. He is very, very good on righties, and he's only 7.1K, pitching in a very pitcher friendly park. See the wind blowing out, shouldn't be too much of a factor, especially with the temps being so low. So really like Gibson at this price against the Oakland Athletics. So let's go ahead and get into the bats now. So the first thing that really stood out to me, and we'll just kind of go down in order here rather than going by team total. Red Sox are going to be they're going to have a 6.1 team total. So there's a lot of bats that are definitely in play for me. Let's go and switch back to DraftKings prices. But really where I'm going to be looking most importantly is going to be on DraftKings, where they drop these outfield prices dramatically against Jacob Waxback, who is a career minor league arm. I mean, he has not made a major league appearance yet. Oh, sorry, he has pitched as in relief, but only around a 1K per 9. 1K per inning. 4.9 xFIP in the minors, 18.4 home run per fly ball. He's pitching in a park that does play well to hitters, so going to definitely be looking at some of these Red Sox. There's no way to get away from it. Bookie bets 4.4K on DraftKings, as well as JD Martinez at that price. Definitely be looking to get one or both of them. Those prices are just way too cheap for guys at the talent level. Doesn't make a lot of sense in this matchup. So going to be looking at them for sure. And also, I think you can even look to Benintendi at 4K here as well. He makes a lot of sense as well. So keep on scrolling down, and then we're going to be looking to this game as well a little bit. The Angels against Ariel Jurado. Jurado is a guy who did improve at the beginning of the season, but has continued to struggle with his hard contact. And in this ballpark, it's not going to play very well. 45% hard contact to lefties, 37% hard contact to righties. xFIP at 5.5 to lefties, and a 4 xFIP to righties. So definitely going to be a spot where we can target some Angels. So Mike Trout is always going to be in play. He's expensive, and I think that we're going to be preferring to get to some Astros and Rockies rather than paying up for Mike Trout. So instead, I'll be looking to guys Justin Upton, 4.3K. David Fletcher at 4K makes some sense. Ohtani, of course, as you saw, those lefty numbers were pretty crazy. But again, he's pretty expensive, so unless you're going to be sacrificing some Coors bats, you're probably not going to get to Ohtani. So my favorite is just going to be probably Justin Upton here at 4.3K against Ariel Jurado. And let's move on to the final game of the slate that I'm going to be looking at for bats. As I said, definitely be looking at some of these White Sox, but I'm not going to talk about them in the video. Instead, we're going to focus on this game right here, where we will first look at Wayne Miley. So Wade Miley, a guy who has actually done pretty decently this year in moving over to the Astros. He's done great on lefties. 230 WOBA to lefties, 3.05 xFIP. Hard contact is great versus lefties, but on righties, it is not the same story. 38% hard contact, 4.7 xFIP, 3.07 WOBA, or 0.307 WOBA. So definitely a spot where we can target some of the righties here for the Rockies, and then the lefties, pretty much I'd save them for GPPs, and especially just because Trevor Story, you see here at 4.5K, which is an absurd price to get Trevor Story at home. He should be the highest owned batter on the slate at that price. I don't see why he would not be. He's also 4K on FanDuel, so I think you can pretty much go ahead and lock him into your lineups at that price against a lefty. Just too good versus lefties to be passing up there. Obviously, I have Nolan Arenado here at 5.3K, and then you've got Ian Desmond, who has hit lefties very, very well this year at 4.5K. He makes some sense as well. If you're gonna look for like a full core stack, you want to get some of these guys. Garrett Hampson, real cheap as well. So I'm pretty much going through 6 through 8 only for full stack. So go ahead, and then going over to the other side, you got Peter Lambert pitching. He's a minor league arm who has made a few starts here for the Rockies, but going into his splits, as you see, his hard contact, 55% hard contact to lefties, 38% fly ball. He's a little bit better on righties, 26% fly ball, 37% hard contact, but still the hard contact is not great. Around 4.6 xFIP in both hands. As you can see, the home run per 9 to lefties has been crazy. I'm sure that number was not going to stick, obviously, but still just a way to show. I mean, he's given up 5 home runs in 10 innings to lefties. So the dude is getting absolutely mashed by lefties. Tons of power there. That is why I think you can pretty much play just about anyone from this lineup. So you've got the righties who are actually pretty cheap, except for Springer and Bregman, of course. Like you've got Yuli at 4.5. That's a fine price to pay for Coors. Tyler White at 3.3 is an awesome price, even against a righty in this ballpark. Will save you some salary and get you an extra Astros bat. So those guys all make sense. All the righties make sense, but I really do like the lefties here, especially Michael Brantley is going to be the one that sticks out a lot at 4.9K. Also, okay, so Alvarez is still here. He's just not in the projected lineup. So if we see him bat, he'd be a GPP play at this price. Just wasn't sure of his price yet. So, but if we see Yordan crack the lineup here, he'd be in play. But I definitely like this price on Michael Brantley at 4.9K. Probably going to be my favorite Astro after Jose Altuve at 4.6K. And then Alex Bregman. You're really going to have a hard decision at third base on DraftKings between Nolan Arenado and Bregman. Assuming you're plugging in Story as shortstop, you got Arenado and Bregman here within 100 of each other. Assuming you have that extra 100, it's a really hard decision. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and rank my home run calls of the day after going through that Astros team. Like I said, probably the top stack of the day at 7.9 runs. Actually, I can say for sure they're the top stack of the day at 7.9 runs. Let's go ahead and go through the home run calls real quick. My home run call, expensive home run call, is going to be Nolan Arenado, 5.3K. Like I said, really think it's a hard decision between him and Bregman. I'm just going to go ahead and take Nado with the splits that he has against lefties. He's going to be, so Bregman's going to be facing a righty, then going to get a weaker bullpen. Arenado's going to have a similar starter matchup. I definitely think Miley has career numbers that are much better than Peter Lambert, so you could give him a better matchup. But he's going to be facing a lefty, obviously a ton of power versus lefties, and Miley's giving up a bunch of fly balls and hard contact to righties. So like Arenado here a lot. He's going to be the home run call of the day, but like I said, you can go with a bunch of guys as the home run call in this game. It's going to be right here. I just want to make sure there's not anyone else that really stands out to me real quick. I do like that price on Aaron Hicks versus Jason Vargas. That's a great price over there. Okay, let's go ahead and make that call. The home run call of the day for the cheap home run. Scooter Gennett's still very, very cheap. That's a good one too. Okay, under 4K. I just think this guy has too much power to be has too much power to versus Tyler Alexander. Don't really know much about Tyler Alexander, I'll be honest with you, but I do know he's a minor league arm who is, as I've seen on Twitter, not faring great in minor leagues. So gonna be looking at Eloy Jimenez as the home run call of the day at under 4K / at 4K. So that will pretty much wrap it up for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to comment and subscribe. You have a chance to win that free season pass from Locks DFS. Just leave a comment. Anything like that, maybe a pitcher I didn't mention. There are some guys in the mid-range that I didn't get to that you'll have to kind of find out yourself if you are going to be going to that range. So with all that said, Thank you guys so much for watching. Check us out at locksdfs.com. Get a pass. And be sure to comment for a chance to win a free season pass to Locks DFS. We'll see you guys back here next time. Peace.